question that I get all the time is, what do I do if an exercise is painful? And my answer is, try not to completely ditch the exercise. You don't want to avoid it, you just want to try to do something slightly different. Maybe changing the range of motion, maybe changing the frequency, maybe changing the amount of reps. Right, so let's give an example. Very common painful exercise is a split stand squat. So let's say you're going down in this way here, and the front knee start becoming painful. Right, so what do I do? So check the alignment of your knee over your foot and also related to the hip. So if the pain is on this side here, most of the time, the knee is going too far inward. So what about if we try to bring the leg in the opposite direction? And same thing, if the pain is more lateral, why don't we try to bring the knee slightly more inward in the other way and see what happens? Another possible option is trying not to go that low, or maybe trying to keep the knee slightly more above your foot. So there's nothing wrong with going over, but it's obviously putting a bit more pressure. Another common soreness, it can be at the back knee. So same thing. So if this one is quite painful, where we go in a split stance squat, what can we do is either narrowing the stance, so bringing the back foot slightly closer, or maybe slowly going slightly further away, or try not to go that low. And another option could be just simply holding down in a pain-free range of motion. Another commonly painful exercise is a squat. So here are a few versions. So if a generic squat with feet slightly wider than hip width distance apart is sore, so this one here, what we could do is this. We could either raise the heel. For example, we could place a wedge right under the heels. If you don't have anything specific like that, you can always use plates, books, or whatever you find around the house. But essentially, the wedge will reduce a lot of stiffness at the ankle, so it will allow it to go much lower, and that normally results in less pain as well. Another option could be widening your feet a lot more, so with your pointing toes out. So shoulders are backwards and we're going up and down. So normally this type of squats will take a lot of pressure from the low back, so will allow it to go a little bit lower, and same from the hips. So normally the stiffness goes away. We can even combine the wedge with this type of technique and see what happens. Another option could be not going that low, okay? And in some cases, when women have a very tight pelvic floor, they tend to have a lot of pain because they're gripping on the way down. So what about instead of inhaling when we go down and exhaling we go up, we could do exactly the opposite, and that tend to relax in the pelvic floor. For example, we could inhale to prepare and exhale, relax in the pelvic floor to go down. Inhale to come back up, and exhale, relax in the pelvic floor to go down, and see what happens if we can actually try to release that strong tension. On the other side, if your pelvic floor tends to be more hypotonic, essentially like less strong, we want to do exactly the opposite. So inhale to go down, exhale, we want to try to have the zipping motion to come up. Imagine to lift the pelvic floor without clenching, without squeezing too much. So inhale to go down and exhale to lift it back up. Another very frequently painful exercise is the shoulder bridge. So let's have a look together. So when you are relaxing the arms down, most of the time people start complaining pain around this area here. So how can you modify that? First of all, lowering the pelvis down. Normally that takes a lot of pressure. Maybe tucking the tailbone under a little bit to try to stretch out the back a little bit more. But mostly, very important is to press the heels down into the floor and lengthening the femurs in that direction, so that you will stop simply squeezing the glutes, but you will use the whole body to do it. And make sure that your neck and shoulders are nice and relaxed while you're doing so. And again, you can have your arms wherever you like. Up and down. Whenever you feel ready, you can perhaps start exploring again the first technique. So you might want to try to go a little bit higher and see what happens. So in other words, whenever an exercise is painful, it shouldn't be 100% avoided, but we should try to modify something, change slightly the range of motion, maybe change the direction and see what happens. And then whenever we're ready, we can test again the previous technique and see how it goes. I hope this helped, but feel free to message me if you would like to see something different, or if you have a specific pain in certain exercises, so I can create new videos for you.